Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. As we continue to expand Verdant Threads Inc., we are faced with a critical decision: where to build our next factory. This decision will impact our company's profitability, operational efficiency, and long term sustainability. My name is Lucio Benazzi, and in this presentation, I will walk you through a data driven analysis of our top 3 location options, evaluating key factors such as financial viability, risk exposure, and ethical considerations. By the end, we will identify the most strategic investments that align with both our growth objectives and our commitment to responsible business practices. Let's get started. Executive summary. Let's begin with our problem. The planning committee has identified 3 potential locations in which a new factory could be built to meet the growing demand for textile mills. As we can see below, I've associated the 3 locations with the respective mitigation strategy. First of all, we have location A, on the left, an international location which has the water rights agreement. Then, we have location B, also an international location, which has the highway construction project. Finally, we have location C, a domestic location, meaning it's in the same country as the original factory of the company, which is awaiting on a shipping partner. So, you may be wondering, which is the best solution? After a comprehensive evaluation, location B emerges as the most viable option, offering the best balance between financial stability, ethical labor practices, and environmental responsibility. Current status. First of all, we're going to look at year 1 net profits for location A, location B, and location C. And let me clarify that this is including the cost of factory building. For location A, we have a balance of negative $11,300,000. For location B, is negative $8,450,000. And for location C, is a staggering negative $31,500,000. What does this mean? Is that location B has a much smaller gap to be profitable. So, in the case of an unexpected scenario like a natural disaster and everything is an utter failure, location B poses a much smaller risk since it's a much smaller investment. Now, let's look at the worst case scenario accumulated profits for the 3 locations, in case their mitigation strategies, as mentioned before, the water rights agreements, the highway construction project, and the shipping partner doesn't go through. So let's look how they would perform in profitability during the 4 years. Out of this information, we can take 2 critical conclusions. The first one is that location A will be the only location to become profitable by year 3. Meanwhile, location B and C will become profitable by year 4. Another factor that we can see here is that location B is the only location that will not pass the $5 million benchmark that was placed by the planning committee for the project to be considered profitable. Now, let's set aside profitability and let's take a look at other measurable and non-measurable critical factors of sustainability that come with each location. Location A, for example, produces 1,900 metric tons of CO2, but it does not prioritize ethical labor and requires 25 hectares of deforestation, posing both environmental and reputational risks for the company. Location E, however, emerges as the most responsible choice, with the lowest carbon footprint at 1,220 metric tons and a commitment to ethical labor. It also has minimal deforestation requirements and operates in a politically stable environment, factors that reduce long-term risks. On the other hand, location C presents the highest carbon emissions at 2,950 metric tons, along with high labor costs, potential workforce strikes which can delay production, and excessive government regulation, making it a challenging and high-risk choice in the long term. So, what can we conclude? When considering sustainability, ethical business practices, and long-term viability, it is clear that location B aligns best with Verdant Threads. Now, let's move more towards the analysis of the project. In this slide, we're going to see the accumulated profits for the best case scenario. Previously, we saw the accumulated profits for the worst case scenario. So let's see how each location would perform in case that their mitigation strategy do go through. First of all, we can see that location A and B become profitable by year 3, while location C becomes profitable by year 4. Additionally, by year 4, we can see that location A has the highest profitability, location B is the second highest, and location C has the lowest profitability. Now that we have assessed the environmental impact, let's turn our attention to financial performance, expected values, EV, and relative risks, RRM, which will be crucial in determining the most strategic location for Verdant Threads Inc. This table presents the best case scenario, worst case scenario, expected value, EV, and relative risk metric, RRM, for each location, incorporating the probability of each outcome. First, we're going to look at location A. Location A has the highest potential of upside, with a best case profit of 15.76 million and an expected value of 13.22 million. However, this is a worst case scenario of 7.30 million and a risk metric of 0.64. It carries moderate volatility. The probability of achieving the best case is 70%, while the likelihood of hitting the worst case is 30%. On the other hand, we have location B. Location B, while slightly lower in profitability, remains an attractive option. With a best case profit of 12.5 million and an expected value of 11.62 million, it demonstrates strong financial stability. However, it also carries the highest relative risk at 0.76, meaning it has greater variability between outcomes. The probability of achieving the best case scenario here is 90%, with only a 10% chance of reaching the worst case, 3.70 million. Finally, we have location C. Location C has the lowest upside at 8.25 million and an expected value of 7.35 million. However, it is the least volatile option, with an RRM of just 0.31, meaning its financial performance is relatively predictable. The probability of reaching the worst case scenario of 6 million is 40%, while the best case scenario has a 60% probability. So, what's our key takeaway? While location A offers high returns, its risk is moderate. Location C is the safest choice, but has the lowest profitability. Location B, despite having the highest risk, maintains a 90% probability of achieving strong returns. Now, let's take a look at this chart that compares each location's profitability and sustainability. For location A, while profitable, falls short on sustainability and ethical labor practices. Location C is more sustainable but lacks financial viability and faces high operational risks. Location B, however, strikes the perfect balance, offering strong profitability and the best sustainability. To finalize, here we can take a better look of locations B, competitive advantages in risk, sustainability, and profitability over the other locations. Now, stakeholders, imagine this. A year from now, our new factory is up and running, but instead of celebrating, we're facing public backlash over unethical labor practices, environmental lawsuits, and frustrated investors. Why? Because we prioritize short-term profits over long-term sustainability. But here's the good news. We have the power to make a better choice, one that aligns with our financial goals, our sustainability mission, and our reputation. And that choice is location B. Thank you.